Hey guys, it is Monday, June the 1st, 2020. Wow, our year is flying by. Well, we are starting a new month, so we're going to start Proverbs over again. I don't guess I've done chapter 1 yet. I think I started in the middle of the month, but I think it's some good stuff. Well, we know it's good stuff. It's out of the Word. Well, it's funny. I read this at lunchtime, and I come home and I read it again, and or started reading it again, and I thought, I know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to, because the first proverb kind of gives you an explanation of what the proverbs are and what they're for. But there's so much more meaty stuff, I think, that needs to be said. So that's what we're going to do. If you're watching this, I don't remember the young man's last name, but he's 12-year old young man. His name is Tyler. He comes to our Awanas program at church at Centerview Baptist in Albemarle, North Carolina. I've yet to really be told what happened, if they even know what happened, but really be in prayer for him and his family. I don't know the latest, but this young man was in intensive care, in critical condition. And they did check for the COVID virus, and it wasn't that, but really be praying for him and his family. The young man's only 12 years old, but we know that God has a plan. I know it's very tough for the family. I can't even imagine. So if you would, lift that family up in prayer. Like I say, I don't know the last name, but the good thing is God does. He knows exactly, who I'm talking about. And if you lift him up in prayer, he'll know who you're talking about. So we're going to get right to this. Proverbs chapter 1. We're going to look at verses 23 through 30. I know that's a few verses here, but just a real quick. This one's broken down into 3 sections. The first chapter. The first verse 1 through 7 is the usefulness of Proverbs, and that's what I was going to cover today because I think it's important. But I come on down and I felt some, that I feel like I need to talk about something else. And then there's the second part is 8 through 19, which is the enticement of sinners, and how the warning not to be enticed by those negative, evil things. And then the last part is verse 20 through 33, and it's kind of titled Wisdom Warns. A lot is talked about in Proverbs, or the vocabulary, righteousness and justified, knowledge, things like that. And then you have fool and scoffer and evil. There's it's good, and it's good and evil. That's the fight that we're in. That is the battle. Good versus evil. God, which is only good, and the devil, which is only evil. And that's what this war that we're in. And a lot of people don't realize that we're in this war. So the Proverbs, there's a lot of teaching, a lot of warning, a lot of different things that would really help us if we stop and think about them. Read them, stop and think. But like I said, we're going to do. I'm just going to read 23 through 30, And I want you to listen and think about what is being said. Um, all right, it says, uh, now I'm skipping down in here, so I hope it makes sense, but I feel like it does. It says, turn to my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known to you, because I called you and you refused. I stretched out my hand and no one paid attention. And you neglected all my counsel and did not want my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your dread comes. When your dread comes like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. They would not accept my counsel. They spurned all my reproof. Guys, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. To me, this is God talking to the ones that He's reached out to. He's reached out. He reaches out to everyone. Every person that walks this earth has the opportunity to accept Christ. And you don't have to look for Him, because He looks for you. You're given an opportunity. You hear about Jesus. You hear about Him. And He comes to you. It's that still small voice down deep that you know this is real. You can deny it all you want, but you know it's real. God made us in a special way to know that He made us to where we have a need. We have a hole. We have a void that it cannot be filled. Now we try to fill that void with all kind of things, with money, with things, with people, with love, with position, with power. We constantly try, because that's the flesh. The only thing that can truly fill that void is Jesus Himself. And He's made us like that. He's made us like that. And that's why in these verses I truly feel that way. It says, behold, I have poured out my spirit on you. And I will make my words known to you. Because it talks about earlier in here about, the words of the wise and their riddles. When it talks about wise, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, that's of God. That's of God. That's when people accept God. When they accept Jesus as a personal Savior, He has revealed Himself to them. And we have an understanding. So, and everyone does. Everyone has the opportunity to accept Him, to have that knowledge in them. So we all have that opportunity. As it goes down through here, it talks about how God tries. I've done my part. Jesus, He came, He lived the perfect life. He died for us before we were ever born. He died so that we'd have a way out. He was resurrected from the grave. The only person ever, um, by his own power, by his own power, was resurrected from the grave. And then it goes on to talk about, um, you neglect my counsel, you didn't want my reproof. You know, you didn't. You won't listen to what I have to say, and our society is like that. If it is of God, they don't want to have anything to do with it. And then it goes on to, you didn't want my reproof. So it says that I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your dread comes. I truly believe that this is not when you have issues here on earth. This right here is when he comes again. This right here is when he has given every opportunity. As Christians, we believe that when every opportunity has been given, God's coming back. Jesus is going to call Christians home to heaven. You know, don't be mistaken. This is not a movie. This is, the happy ending is the believers will be with him in a perfect world. We won't have to worry about a thing. There will not be a tear shed. I think that's what this is talking about. It talks about dread will come like a storm. It says that he's coming back with the sound of thunder and as fast as lightning. The calamity will come like a whirlwind. We're going to be drawn up into the sky. I may be way off here, but I just wanted this. It makes so much sense to me that as I read it like this. When distress and anguish come upon you, they will call for me. See, so many people, they know of Jesus, but they don't want to sacrifice the things that they have for what he may ask of them. They don't want to sacrifice the things that they're doing that they know are wrong for what he says is right. There's a lot of people know, but they just won't hand it over. And I'm not saying that I have. I'm not saying that I have, that I close my eyes and listen for God to direct my every path. I wish I did. I want to be like that, and I try to go the way that I feel that God is leading me to go. But a lot of people know. That's what scares me to death. People know about Jesus. They just don't know him in their heart, and that's what it's going to take. So this is, I truly believe this is when the final day comes. They're going to, oh no, they know what's happened, and they know what's going on, and they're going to call for him, but he's not going to be here anymore. When he calls us home, the revelation of Jesus starts, and it's only bad. There is no good. This world will, oh God, I am so glad I'm not going to be here. They will seek diligently, but they will not find me, because he's not going to be here, because they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. See, in this aspect, knowledge is knowing what's right, knowing right from wrong, and knowing that he is the only way. I think that's the knowledge here. Knowing that Jesus is real. He is the creator of everything. And denying that, because if I agree with that, I have to give up, getting drunk on the weekends or sleeping around with people that, I shouldn't be. stealing things, or, gossiping. I mean, I think of we all think of the bad things, but, the little things, that hurtful thing you know, that I might have said to that person that other people laugh with me at. I don't want to change that. I don't want to change and be the person that God wants me to be, because you hated knowledge and you did not choose to fear the Lord. They would not accept my counsel, and they spurned my reproof. It's it's going to be a sad day. I think the sad part is, or the saddest part is, people are going to know that they made the mistake. They're going to know where they went wrong. And that just scares me to death for some people. So, a lot to think about. It's a real positive thing for believers. But if you're not a believer, this is a scary thing. So I'm going to cut it off here. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. What all the things you're supposed to do for a video on YouTube. I'd love for you to comment. I'd love to hear what you think. Guys, I pray today that the Lord will bless you in a special way. I'll see you next time.